Beautiful question this is, and just like every concept, to understand it perfectly most times it is best to take it from the root in order to understand it perfectly, and as the case may be if you ever want to compare and contrast as I am about to do right now, taking it from the root also helps in understanding it properly. Where did it all begin? Yield farming. Ethereum-based credit market. This past June 15th, Compound began distributing its governance token, COMP, to the users of the protocol. Demand for the token, increased by the structure of its automated distribution, kicked off the new craze and took Compound to the leading role in DeFi. The hot new crypto concept is yield farming, a shorthand for clever schemes where further cryptocurrency is received by its owner by momentarily placing crypto at the hands of any startup application. Another word flying around is liquidity mining. As more and more people become involved, the noise surrounding these topics has developed into a low rumble. The casual crypto analyst who just shows up on the market when activity heats up may start having faint vibes that right now something is happening. Take our word for it, the root of those vibes is yield farming. But if all these words sound too Greek to you, DeFi, liquidity mining, yield farming, you don't need to worry. The purpose of the answer exactly is to catch you up. We'll get into all of them briefly. So what is yield farming? Broadly speaking, yield farming is any attempt to bring crypto assets to use and deliver the best potential returns on those assets. Looking at it from the aggregate point of view makes it all easier to comprehend. A yield farmer may move assets around inside the compound at the simplest stage, continuously pursuing whatever pool offers the best APY from week to week. This may mean switching from time to time into riskier pools, but a yield farmer can control risk. Farming sets up additional arbitrage market arbitrations that will spill over to other protocols that are in the pool of tokens. Quote: liquidity mining? Liquidity mining is a method of network participation in which a participant supplies a protocol with resources in exchange for the native token of that protocol. Jake Bruckman of Coin Fund, who discussed generalized mining in the form of supply-side network involvement, referred to this concept a few years back. The nuance of liquidity mining is that there is a special requirement for the network, which is liquidity provisioning, and consumers do not need to buy tokens, but are often compensated with tokens, which are also a governance token that enables holders to vote on protocol parameters, including value capture mechanisms. This is often referred to by many as yield farming. Although these words are often used interchangeably, yield farming would not require a token, e.g. liquidity providers could only receive yield through transaction fees on Uniswap. Relationship between yield farming and liquidity mining. Most people usually ask, why is yield farming so hot right now? Because of liquidity mining. Supercharges from liquidity mining. Yield farming. Liquidity mining is where, in exchange for the liquidity of the farmer, a yield farmer gets a new token as well as the normal return. That's the mining portion. The idea is to maximize the worth of the token by stimulating use of the network, thereby building a favorable use loop to draw customers, said Richard Ma of QuantStamp, a smart contract auditor. But earlier this year, Compound revealed it wanted to fully decentralize the commodity, and it wanted to give the individuals who made it famous by using it a good bit of control. The type of the comp token will take the possession. The examples of yield farming above are just farming yields from the usual activities of multiple platforms. Supply Compound or Uniswap of liquidity to get a little cut of the organization going over the protocols, really vanilla. But earlier this year, Compound revealed it wanted to fully decentralize the commodity, and it wanted to give the individuals who made it famous by using it a good bit of control. The type of the comp token will take the possession. If this sound is not too altruistic, bear in mind that more than half of the equity was held by the people who created it, the team and the investors. That was most likely to make it a lot more common location for lending by giving away a healthy portion to consumers. That will in fact make everybody's stake worth a lot more. Thus this 4-year duration was declared by Compound, where the protocol will send users comp tokens, a set number per day, before it was gone. These comp tokens control the protocol, just as shareholders ultimately control publicly traded companies. Major difference between liquidity mining and yield farming. Liquidity mining. Earning tokens by giving liquidity. Liquidity mining comes from two very important principles, liquidity and mining, in the field of cryptocurrencies. By liquidity, in a given forum, we mean the existence of coins, tokens, necessary for the development, growth and expansion of DeFi markets. In the other hand, by mining, we mean the PoW-based strategy in which you obtain new coins only minted by the computer by making the computing power usable. These two principles can be joined together, albeit far from each other, to create a mechanism that has definitely favored the boom of some DeFi initiatives. Basically, a person who wants to do liquidity mining lends liquidity to a certain pool, basically on Uniswap, and depending on the time and the amount of liquidity provided receives new tokens just minted. Yield farming. Maximize yield by automatically moving funds. Yield farming is a method put above basic liquidity mining that takes advantage of its key characteristics to optimize user returns. In essence, yield farming is the transfer of one's liquidity using different methods such as liquidity mining, fund leveraging and risk option between the various DeFi platforms. With Compound, which started distributing its governance tokens to its users on June 16, the concept of yield farming was born. Users accrued comps that were then spread by lending and buying the safe coins. Any team in the world of DeFi decided to build their own token and spread it after this concept and the explosion in terms of the value of the comp token to enable users to go to a certain network. Therefore, at the same time, liquidity mining and yield farming, the transfer of one's safe coins to optimize the profit by receiving government tokens.